Hello and welcome to the Kanawha Valley Hustlers podcast. This is Joe Justice here, coming to you live from Bar 101. We're here with Up Next Charlie West, and I've got Amanda here with me. Amanda, what brought you out here tonight?
Well, I was very excited to come. I've been to a couple of these events, but I just love to get out in the community, meet people, especially people that are, young entrepreneurs and business folks, people that we can network with.
And tell me a little bit about what you do.
Well, I'm the Executive Communications Liaison to the President at West Virginia State University, and I handle all things communications, marketing, government relations, external affairs, lots of different things for the President.
Well, that gets us right into our first question here. In your experience, what marketing strategies have been the most effective in growing businesses and why?
Well, the biggest thing about marketing strategies is your brand. Your brand is so important, right? And so at the end of the day, everything that you do circles around your brand. And so you want to do everything you can to market your brand. And so at West Virginia State, when people see the clock tower, they know we are West Virginia State. When they see Go State, they know it's West Virginia State. It starts at State.
And, I like to tell people when it comes to branding, the most important thing is consistency, right?
Absolutely. You have to be consistent with your message. You cannot change your tagline every couple years. You have to own it, and it has to be yours and only yours.
So take a little bit of time and think about your brand before, you spend too much time on it. Make sure that it's something you want to stick with, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Because once you go with it, you really need to be married to it and embrace it.
Yeah, I've run into people all the time that, they kind of do one thing one week and then another thing, and that's not branding.
No, that's a teeter-totter. You don't really know what you're doing. People may not know what your company is or what your mission is. You have to own your brand.
And how do you foster a positive and productive business culture, and why is that important?
Well, I think communication is key, right? So it's so important to communicate with everyone and everyone on your team. And at the end of the day, you all need to work together, no matter what, if it's a company, a university, a business, whatever it may be, you need to work together and you have to have a teamwork approach. So you need to have a positive experience, nix the negativity and work together to accomplish the mission or the goal because you're all in this together.
That's a great answer. And I want to ask you, coming up next here, how do you set and achieve long-term goals for yourself and for your company?
So I am a checklist person. I'm a little bit old school in that nature.
Wait a minute. Do you have a paper planner or a digital planner?
I have a paper planner. I also rely on my phone a lot too. Yeah,
right.
But when it comes, yeah, absolutely. But when it comes to my checklist, I actually have a book and I go in there and I will write down everything. And then I will go back and I will keep circling back to figure out what it's going to take to reach that goal. And then I will start identifying deadlines and times so that we can make sure we're meeting it.
That's excellent. That's so important. And, the thing I like the most about a paper checkbook is you can see what you've done at the end of the day, right?
Absolutely. There's nothing more beautiful than taking that and either scratching it across because you've finished it, you've accomplished it, or just taking that check mark and marking it through. Or if you're on your email, marking off that email, taking that check mark and ending it. So that's really important. It's very self-satisfaction,
It certainly is. And what is your leadership philosophy, and has it changed or evolved throughout the course of your career?
So I think my leadership philosophy is, number one, to be a leader, right? But I think communication, I go back to communication a lot. Communication is so important because effective communication is what makes or breaks any type of organization, company, those type of things. And so at the end of the day, I want to be a strong leader, but I also want to be a leader that is, getting input and working with people to, again, reach the common goal.
Incredible. And I want to ask you, along those lines, what advice do you have for building and maintaining professional relationships?
Well, again, when you meet someone, I think it's so important now, this sounds kind of crazy, but life skills are so important, right? And so when you meet someone, you want to make sure that you're making a positive impact, right? So at networking events, you are meeting so many people and, it's kind of like it's not, but it's similar. Like you have like your elevator pitch, right?
Right.
And so you want to have something that makes you stand out and people will remember you. Because when you're networking and you're meeting all these different people, it kind of all runs together, but you want to make sure you are taking the time to meet the people and remember them and connect with them. There's so many opportunities now to be able to connect. You've got LinkedIn, you've got Facebook, all the different social media, their website. Find out about them, learn about them, and then figure out how you and your company or your organization or university can partner with them. That's so important, right? I mean, it's more important than when you go meet people, it's great, but you need to follow up.
And all of that that circles all the way back around to that branding thing, right? Because if you show up at an event and you're big and bubbly and fun and everything, but then on your social media, you're dour and depressed and all you do is complain about stuff, that's not going to work out long term, right?
Not at all. No, I mean, you have to interject. Just how you are is how you need to be on all of your pages, right? And just in general, because that is the impact. That is what people are going to remember. And then that's how the effective networking works, right? Because they remember you from wherever you met them and there's a reason why. And then they connect it to whomever you're connected to. So it's a win-win for everyone.
Great. Well, I want to thank you so much for being on with me today. And thank you for watching. This is Joe Justice, the Kanawha Valley Hustler, reminding you to hustle hard, hustle smart, and hustle with a smile.